From time to time, ProSky Studio gets jobs that lie within a certain class of controlled airspace, requiring us to file a waiver with the FAA for operations. So today we're just going to pretend that we have a job here at Cecil Field, and it lies, let's just pick a place right here. We're going to say that it lies right here, just along the edge of Cecil's airspace, right before you come to Hurlong, which is a Class G airport, obviously. So we're going to say that our job, after we've located it on Google Earth, or we have the address, is going to be located right in here. We checked, this is our process of checking to see if it lies within airspace that is controlled, and sure enough, it's right in here off of this road, and I guess this is Normandy Boulevard, and this is something that we're going to have to file a waiver for. Okay, so to do that, what we do is go to faa.gov/UAS/request_waiver. So what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down right to the form and get started. So the responsible person is the individual who has overall responsibility for the safe conduct of the proposed waiver airspace authorization operation. If this is just you going out on a job with your spotter, this will be your name. So we're going to say it's me. And always put the organization down as ProSky Studio, just like you see it here, because we need to be able to track these later. Mailing address is going to be the business address, which is 1637 Racetrack Road, Suite 126. St. John's, Florida 32259. Phone number is how they can reach you. So what we need to do is put my direct phone number in, since I'm going to be the responsible party. Remote pilot, even though this does not show that it's required as indicated by red asterisks, it is required. This is just something that's wrong with their form, and if you don't fill it out, then it'll kick it back and say now all of a sudden it's required. So because it's going to be me, I'm going to just type my information in again. What's fantastic is Google Chrome saves all this, so we're going to skip a few steps. So we filled this out, my mailing address here, phone number will change back to my cell phone number, airman certificate number, insert or type in your UAS certification number here, and then just type in small UAS. Even though you saw it there, that grayed out text is not really text, it's a placeholder. Okay, it's not required to do either one of these, but it helps. The make and model of the UAS that we're going to be using, the make is going to be DJI, and the model for this particular job that we're going to be doing is the Aspire 1 Pro. The aircraft registration number you must enter in here, and it can be found on all of our aircraft. So once that's entered, we don't want to add another SUAS. I have information from the FAA that says if you try to add more aircraft, it will kick this to the bottom of the queue. So we want to do one waiver per aircraft. Waiver airspace authorization. You must select at least one regulation subject to waiver or airspace authorization. Nearly every operation for which we must file a waiver will fall within this first category here, operation in certain airspace. So we're going to check that. You can go down here, regulation subject to waiver, operating from a moving vehicle or aircraft, daylight operation, which means we're requesting to operate at night, visual line of sight, meaning you want relief from the VLOS regulation to operate beyond visual line of sight, and so on. At your leisure, you can take a look at these and see and learn more about them and based on their regulation number. But for 99% of all waivers we have to file, it's operation in certain airspace. Alright, so we put a check in the box there. Now we're going to enter the local start time for this project. So it's going to be the 22nd of February. The local start time is going to be 10 a.m. and it's not military time. You actually have to do 10 a.m. The local end time, this is going to be a 2-day job, so we're going to go to the 24th, and we're going to end at 4 p.m. Local time zone will be Eastern, or whatever time zone that you'll be operating in. And the proposed area of operations. So basically, this is just a plain text entry that they want you to fill in. So what we're going to say is location of pre-developed or pre-development property, aerial photography for promotional purposes. Basically, just give them an idea of what you're doing in plain text. Proposed maximum flight altitude, I will tell you this, that it's easier to get a waiver for lower altitudes. So we want to say that this particular area, we're not going to go over 125 feet above ground level. Now you get to put in the latitude and longitude coordinates for the particular site. So much like filing for a NOTAM, you have to enter in your lat long. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and open up Google Earth. I've got it open here. And we're going to zoom in to our location and take a look-see. We said it was right around in here. Okay, so now if we look here in the bottom right corner, we see our coordinates, again down here, 30, 14, 25 north, so we'll just cycle back, 30, 14, 25, and north. You have to type in the N or select it from the drop-down menu. Longitude, 81, 15, 07, I'm sorry, 81, 51, 19. West. The radius, we're always going to operate within 1 nautical mile. So go ahead and select less than 1 nautical mile. The nearest airport, you need to put in the airport identifier, the ICAO airport code. So we lead off with the K. This particular airport is Cecil, and we know that its identifier is KV Victor Quebec Quebec. Class of airspace is Class Delta. And description of your proposed operation. Very low aerial photography of pre-developed land for real estate fix my spelling here. Fat fingered that. Okay, so just give them a description in your own words of what you're going to do. And then here we go. Other certifications of waiver / airspace authorization. The applicant or any of the principal officers or owners has an application for a certificate of waiver airspace authorization under Part 107 that is pending with any FAA office. Typically, yes. An approved certificate that has not expired. Yes. An approved certificate that has expired. This is something that you'll have to ask us to see if we have any expired COAs. And then an application that has been denied. No. And a certificate that has been canceled, withdrawn, or revoked. No. When all that's done, select the I am not a robot reCAPTCHA and then click submit. And then you're done. But that's basically it in a nutshell. If you would, just document that you did this. Give us the date and the time that you completed it. But that's how you file for a waiver for UAS. Thanks for all you do.